How would you children like to suck on my chocolate salty balls?
Oh, you mean like a chocolate candy?
No, I mean my balls.
Hey, what's up?
Suck my balls.
What up, dude? You back? You ready?
Ready.
This is SMB. Number
This is
200,
SMB.
213, bro.
213.
213.
That's right.
The big
It's big.
2,
1.
3.
That's right.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen,
We're back.
for season 15, bro.
Oh my goodness.
Holy freak in China.
I remember when we were
And
in
in China.
season 2. I was like, man, I wonder when we're ever going to get the later shit.
We're there.
We're there.
When we started this podcast, there was only about 3 or 4 podcasts that were reviewing South Park. Some of them, one of them in particular, I think started in season 11. I want to say IGN was doing some for a little bit there, and they started in like season 15. There was another person there that fell off. We've seen people come and go. You know, the only other legit one besides us we think about that reviews South Park here is Shark's Pond. Shout out to you. Go check them out. They're a lot further than I, but it's just, you know, he's a lot farther than me. He cranks up multiple episodes out a week. He's the man when he's cranking out those audio episodes. But we do a lot more than video. So because we do the video and social media stuff, it takes a lot longer. So, you know, when we started, we were just cranking out those pods just like that too. Because it was just like audio. But now, with so much media and technology, yeah, keep up, Scoop.
Gotta keep up.
Gotta keep up.
Gotta keep up.
Trying to stay tough now. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the S to the C.
Double O.
That double OP.
Triple OP. Quadruple OP. Then...
I was like looking at the camera and I was like really short compared to you, so I had to like lift my chair up. I'm like, why am I so short?
Yeah.
I look like a baby there.
Senti Scoop.
Send it to you. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the C to that double OP, the Scoop, the Tom Bout, the Scoop Jackson.
Hold on. Diagnosed with stage 3 Scoop syndrome when I was 3 years old. God damn it.
He's got it. He's infected, and he's on the prowl.
Hold.
Of course, shout out to our other fallen co-hosts. It's like they're dead. No, they're just not here.
They're just dead.
They're
Fuck
dead
'em.
to me.
They're dead to us.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Just kidding. Shout out to the 2022 Red Rocks Day 1 South Park Trivia Champion, Doctor of Thugonomics, Punkonomics, Polyphonics.
Scooponomics.
He is a trivia god. Joe Vernolo. He's getting better. I just talked to him the other day. He was like, I just can't do a lot of yelling yet. He was like, I might be able to like sit in on a podcast here shortly. A couple weeks.
Oh, shiznit.
He's like, because if we're all 4 on, obviously we're not all talking at the same time, so I might be able to get away with it.
Oh,
I was like,
shit.
okay, we'll see. Maybe Joe will be making his return here. But ladies and gentlemen, look, we don't want to give away too much information, okay? This man is a writer. He's a director. He's a producer. He's an on-screen talent. He's the man who likes to bring the pain in the digital marketing game. He's the guy who solicits those picks to get your clicks. Dane Becker is not here. Dane's going through some personal challenges, as we all do in life. And right now, he's just taking some R&R and some relaxation, some mental health days to get better within himself. That's fair, right? Fair way to say it.
Mm-hmm.
I think so, without giving away his business. I don't give away his business. Yeah, I give away his business. I don't want to put him on this.
Yeah, he's just been sitting in the bathroom jerking off. Sorry.
That's what he was doing. Dane Becker. Jack off jerker. Chub challenge accepted.
He's been Chubbs challenging himself to chafe.
Been Chubb challenging himself. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've delayed long enough. I, of course, am MSG. Let's talk a little South Park. This is Human Sentai Pad. It is the first episode of Season 15 and the 210th overall episode of South Park as it first aired on April the 27th, 2011. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode is all about what happens if you don't read the fucking terms and conditions.
Why won't it read?
Read the terms and conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Look, the only time you don't ever read the terms and conditions is if, like, the phone is 4 or 5 years old at this point. You're probably, like, not going to get a new one. Maybe you're going to jailbreak it. Like, if you jailbreak it, it's basically like saying, fuck the terms and conditions.
Mm-hmm.
So, at that point,
no warranty.
respect, dog. I got you. But if they're going to give you a terms and conditions update or you're going to, like, buy video games, read the terms and conditions. You'll be surprised at what you see in there. Anytime you play an online video game of any kind of game, you do not own any of the content. You think you do, but you don't.
But you don't.
Read the terms and conditions.
Mm-hmm.
You think you do. You're putting it on your Twitch, and you're like, hey, I'm a gamer, blah, 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 blah. Technically speaking, they could just come in and shut you down. Not for your Twitch channel. They could just come in and shut you down because you're using their footage and their likeness that they own, the content that you agree to, and anything that you create or do on their servers they own. It says in their terms and conditions. I'm speaking specifically about EA Sports right now. So I don't, yeah.
Maybe we would still have some NCAA fucking sports games.
Yeah, I think it was my buddy Darren one day. He sent me an invite, like when, Game Pass basically first launched, right? So we all tried it, and we all got NHL. And he was like, hey, you want to play online? And I was like, okay, hold on. I got to read the terms and conditions. So I sat there with him on video chat over Skype or FaceTime, and he was like setting up his things. Like, are you still reading the terms and conditions? I'm like, yeah. I got to read all this. It's 35 minutes. It took me 35 minutes to read all the terms and conditions, and then I agreed to it. But I read it, and basically what it had said at that time was anything you do in our game, we own. Like anytime, and no matter what it is, any type of scores, online servers, we also reserve the right to kick you off of our stuff and ban you to do things. I mean, if you own a physical copy of the game, right, that's different. Now you can play the game offline no matter what, it's yours. But as we move more into the digital age, you don't really own the games. So what happens if a mistake is made and they just kick you off of your game? Now you can't even play, period. It's already happening. It's already happening, people. We're already there. We're already in utopia. Human Sentai Pad. Kyle is intimately involved in the development of a revolutionary new product called the Human Sentai Pad. iPads. They're huge. They're popular. They're getting bigger and better here in 2011. And as we are 12 years after the fact, people use them. They've kind of come and gone. They've had their popularity, right? I mean, people still have them, but I think they've kind of, just become part of the natural ecosystem of technology now. You know what I mean? No one's going, oh, it's the iPad? This is great. iPad 7 or whatever we're at. You're not really hearing a lot about that. Right now they're talking about the Apple Vision Pro where we put the goggle things on.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're at a point where the iPads have become a lot more a part of the ecosystem. I see the businesses using them, you know what I mean? POS systems and making spreadsheets and PowerPoint, and then you slide it up on the TV so your coworkers can see that type of shit. Right? You get what I'm saying. This corporate America. I'll have to edit that out, Matt. I gotta get a big boy job. So iPads now are the popular item here in the United States, and everyone has one except for Cartman, who is of course caught pretending to have one by Craig and Kenny, or by Craig. And Kenny, of course, also doesn't have one because he is too poor to have one. So he watched, as you mentioned while you're watching, he just watches his friends play with theirs instead.
Was this when Steve Jobs was still alive?
Yes, Steve Jobs was currently dead at that. No, he was alive. He was alive. So yeah, Kenny, Kyle, Craig, Stan, they're all sitting there. Cartman's belittling people as they're walking by, like Tolkien and other people. Where's your iPad? Oh, there. I have an iPad. So.
Where's your iPad?
So Kyle basically, Stan and Kyle are like, let us see your iPad. And he's like, my iPad's dead. I'll show it to you tomorrow. And he runs away. And it's at this point, Cartman goes home and he's upset because his mom won't get him an iPad. Meanwhile,
Toshiba Handybook.
She'll get him a Toshiba Handybook. We'll get there. But his mom won't get him an iPad.
Until his birthday.
Because it's like $900. And even for a basic one back then, even now, I bet. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I don't care. I say that as an Apple fanboy. I don't care because I'm on a Mac with an Apple iPhone, okay? I don't need a fucking pod. I do an iPad. If you want to send me one, that'd be great. All right, let's get into it here. Let's get into our first clip. How about that? Let's do a clip. Here's Cartman pretending he has an iPad.
Oh my God, it's awesome having an iPad today. Hey, baby, where's your iPad? Oh, right, you're not cool enough. Hey, you my iPad, baby.
His iPad.
You don't seem to have one. I thought your family was rich. You think that's like Foursquare if you don't have an iPad. Oh, which way? iPad next.
Yeah, if he would have just been kicking one, Kenny, in the back.
Or if he'd just been chilling, kept his mouth shut, no one would have said anything.
No one.
Because he's fucking in their faces about it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, fuck you guys, I have an iPad.
Tom Sullivan's dad is an alcoholic who drinks and drives. Let me see your iPad, Cartman. Seriously, you guys! Tom Sullivan's dad is a drunk driver. He's the one who ran over Joey Potts' dog because Joey Potts doesn't know how to take care of his animals, which is why he gets beat by his mom. Just let us see your iPad, Cartman. No, because the battery's dead. It just ran out of power. So plug it in.
So anyway, look at Craig's face there. Like, where did I get myself into? But you want to know who was being quiet the most? Clyde.
Clyde doesn't have one either.
Clyde knows. But no, Clyde probably has one, but Clyde knows. Don't fuck with Cartman. Just leave him alone. Just let him pretend.
That guy fat.
Just let him pretend. You, sir, have mocked Cartman before. Now, let him speak. So,
Clyde?
Okay, I mean, thank you, guys. All right, so now we'll jump back into this next clip. Here's Cartman's coming home, and he's upset.
Well, good going, Mom. You completely screwed me over.
What happened, Eric?
You said I had to wait till my birthday to get an iPad. So the one I rubbed in everyone's faces today isn't real, and tomorrow everyone's going to call me a liar. Would you mind loaning me some of your lipstick, Mom? Because I want to at least look pretty the next time you decide to
Fuck me!
You see? And then I can take all my homework on my iPad and swipe it over to my iPhone.
Yeah, Apple stuff's pretty neat, all right. I just don't want any big company tracking where I am at all times.
That's just a rumor. They don't...
Anyway, so, of course, the side story that's going on here with Kyle, this is where it gets introduced. Kyle has become part of the Apple ecosystem. And I sympathize with Kyle. As I mentioned, I'm using a Mac computer, an Apple iPhone. I like to AirPlay things all the time from one thing to another, whether it's... I have this hooked into another TV. I mean, if Apple made a TV, I'd buy it. Do they?
I think they do.
They make monitors probably, huh?
Probably.
With built-in Apple TV or something like that, a built-in computer or something like that. Yeah, like the big ones.
They used to make desktops.
Yeah, they still make desktops.
Do they?
Yeah,
Nice.
they're really expensive. They're like $3,000 to $5,000.
Nice.
But at that point, you're just going to buy an Apple Vision Pro.
Yeah.
Get an Apple Vision Pro. So in this episode, the side story is Kyle has a problem of reading the terms and service conditions. And because of his lack of reading said terms and service conditions, Scoop, he's going to be abducted by Apple.
He's going to be taken.
He's going to be taken into the depths of hell. No, not hell, but he's going to be taken to Steve Jobs' house. And he's going to be turned into a human Sentai pad. That's the name of the episode, if you didn't catch on. Let's go.
You don't really track me.
Here he is. Hello, Kyle. We're from Apple. We're
They
all
really
ready for
do
you.
track you if you give them the permission
They
to.
can get permission
To
to,
fulfill the agreement, can we get a weight, please?
83 pounds, sir.
What agreement?
83 pounds, good. Let's get the blood work.
Hey, you can't do that.
You agreed we could take all the blood we needed.
What are you talking about?
When you downloaded the last iTunes update, a window on your screen popped up and asked you if you agreed to our terms and conditions. You clicked agree. All right, let's get him to the water tank.
The water tank? I'm not going with you.
You've agreed to all of this. Hey!
Hey! So Kyle, of course, starts running away because he does not want to be abducted by Apple. But Kyle didn't read the terms and conditions. And when I first saw this episode back in the day, Scoop, it scared the crap out of me. This was 2011. We knew each other. We were watching South Park back then, you know. But when I first saw this episode, I was like, whoa, I need to start reading the fucking terms and conditions. I was like, this was the turning point, that moment right there. Because I always knew somebody along the way is going to end up doing this shit. Because South Park predicts things all the time. Or they explain things that ended up being the truth later on about something that already occurred. Like they'll just like make a guess and then it ends up being right. And you're like, what? So like, are they predicting that somewhere along the way in the future, maybe not now, maybe not tomorrow, maybe it already happened, who knows? Did somebody do something or agree to some form of terms and service conditions and this company now owns them? That's a question. And that's what makes me read the terms and service conditions. If you want to own my data of while I'm using it, fine, whatever. I just watch wrestling stuff and South Park. That's about my browser history. Wrestling, South Park, sometimes news, news articles, keep on what's going on in the world events. Nothing terroristic. I love the country, America. Anyway, next clip here. Let's jump in here.
Who the hell reads that entire thing every time it pops up?
I do.
I do.
We all do.
Yeah, we all do.
You're telling me that every time you guys download an update for iTunes, you read the entire terms
Kind of
and
have to.
conditions?
And it doesn't happen very often.
Well, how do you
It's not like it's like every week with them or something.
Right?
It's like every couple months.
Turn off all my
Don't need
apps.
someone sneaking up, sticking something up your butt. You
Agreed. In the middle of the night, like these guys. There he is, get him. And they're just running after him. So he runs away and he runs to his dad's office, obviously, because his dad is a lawyer. Logical. Good call, Kyle.
Agreed.
But however, it's no stop because as Kyle finds out, he has agreed to let Apple tase his father.
Made a binding and legal agreement with Apple, sir.
An agreement to do what?
Apple's inner workings are top secret to all users. You know how it is.
No, I don't know how it is. I use a PC.
You what?
Hey, now let him go.
You tasered my dad!
You said we could.
You agreed.
You said we could.
It's agreed. All right, so the Toshiba Handybook is $299.99.
Yep. And Apple, the 16 gig that they're going to show us, or at least the smaller one, looks like it's $699. Here, watch. Before we share with the audience, look, here's $299, and then there's a $499 version. That's the cheapest one. He could have gotten that.
Verizon 3G, $899.
Look,
3G,
it's
64
Wi-Fi only, so that means he doesn't have AT&T Verizon. So it only works on a Wi-Fi. But he could have gotten away with that for $499. It's got 64 gigs. That's not bad.
And then you got the AT&T 3G and then the Verizon 3G.
Oh, this $499, $599, $699, $899. Verizon 3G. Anyway, so now Cartman now is at Best Buy because he dragged his mom there and he wants to get an iPad. And of course, when they arrive, his mom's like, dude, I'm not spending this much money. How about we get this Toshiba Handybook? Cartman gets upset, drops his pants in the middle of Best Buy, and basically
Screams that his mom is fucking him.
Yeah, exactly. He's SAing her in the butthole. That's how the kids say it now on YouTube. That's how you get around. You gotta say SAing.
S-A-N?
Yeah, for sexual abuse.
Oh.
But you're SAing. That's how we get around the YouTube censors and algorithms. Yes, Cartman embarrasses his mother, Leanne, at Best Buy, loudly accusing of SAing her fucking him in the butt over and over by saying things like, why don't you go across the street and buy some condoms? Because we should at least be safe if you're going to fuck me, Mom. For offering to buy him cheaper Toshiba Handbook rather than the iPad due to the cost of being very expensive. After he tries to get the police involved in a rare moment of strictness, she refuses to buy him anything and takes him home instead. by grounding him for his actions.
Get some.
Let's go get some right now.
Okay, Wi-Fi plus 3G, 64 gig. This one.
$8.99.
Sweetie, $900?
I can't wait to see the look on Kyle's stupid face when he sees my iPad has more memory than his. Well, you don't expect me to get the Wi-Fi only 16 gig version, do you?
Yes.
I think we
That
need
would
to
probably
get
be the best
those
version.
done. They're a little cheaper.
You probably could have wriggled $4.99 out of your mom instead of fucking $900 if she's willing to spend $3. Like he should have shot for a $500 iPad.
Yeah, he should have gone for the $5.99.
Mom, do not screw me over again. If I take that thing to school, everyone's gonna think I'm a poverty-stricken asshole.
Eric, stop acting like a spoiled brat. You can either have the Toshiba Handybook or you can have nothing at all.
Oh,
Or as like we knew back then, and this is 2011, so I get it. You know, Cartman's supposed to be training a 4th grader, even though he has had prior, 14 seasons of instances where he's shown high intelligence. But as we talked about, he could have bought that Toshiba Handybook, cracked it, put an iOS system on it, put his case back on it, and pretended he had an iPad. Because at one point in time, I cracked an iPad, and I was able to put the Android system on it, so I had both systems that you could switch back and forth with. That was like on my iPhone 4 back in the day.
I forget what I jailbreaked. I think it was an Android.
Man, you could put anything on it.
Yeah. I think I did some fucked up shit with the Android. Samsung Galaxy 4 or something like that.
My Switch is basically Raspberry Pi, essentially.
Nice.
I turned it into a Raspberry Pi, but it's got a GameCube loader and it plays Wii and GameCube games. But then it's got like I basically have the full Super Nintendo library. Because like I went to archive.org back in the day when someone had backed up all the card games and I downloaded them all. And I compressed them file and I kept them for years and then moved it onto a flash card and then put it in there.
Ice cream sandwich was the last one.
Yes, sir. Okay, so continuing on, Cartman here now frustrated.
I've got a better idea. Why don't you go across the street and buy some condoms? Because we should at least be safe if you're gonna fuck me, Mom. Eric, you might as well go buy some cigarettes too, because I like to have a smoke after I get done and fuck. You wanna fuck me, Mom? Just say so. Go ahead, here. Huh?
Takes
Go
his
ahead,
pants
Mom,
down.
Fuck me right here in the bed's back. You wanna fuck your son so bad? Go on, Mom. Fuck me. Fuck me.
Now, of course, we don't actually see the scene, but as we talked about already, Cartman apparently walked up to the cop outside and said, "Help me, please, please. My mom's trying to fuck me."
Oh, Cartman.
So
Stupid son of a bitch.
Cartman's trying to weasel his way back to get in the Handybook. Now go back and take me to get the Handybook, and she's not going to take him. So that's the end of that for now. Cartman does not get a Mac. And then, of course, he ends it and says, well, can we at least pull over and get something to eat? Because I like to be wined and dined before I get fucked.
Before I get fucked. I think as everybody does.
Yeah, that's a fair point. It's a fair point. So now, as we mentioned, Kyle, he was abducted because he agreed without reading.
You agree.
And he arrives and he is thrown into a prison cell with a Japanese man and a Caucasian woman. And unfortunately for them, there is a plan to put them together as at the gathering of Apple employees, Steve Jobs unveils the new product for which Kyle and the other two were kidnapped. And it's called the Human Centipad, comprising of 3 kidnapped subjects on all fours wearing only white cloths around their waists and sewn together mouth to anus. The Japanese man is in the front, with Kyle being in the middle because of his weight distribution, and the woman in the back, in the rear. An iPad is attached to her butt and powered by the trio's feces.
It's your butt.
Jobs intends to teach the creation to read and walk, but becomes frustrated when Kyle continues to sign agreements without reading. They even try.
Why won't it read?
They go to great lengths to try and trick him and a whole creation of different things. They even tricked him into believing he was rescued at one point, brought to a hospital for its members to be separated, only to reveal that it was a simulation inside of an Apple store to seek advice. A simulation inside of an Apple store. Basically like, hey, you didn't fucking read. Why won't it read? You know?
Why won't it read?
And of course, Kyle's abducted, so Gerald is going to have to seek out the geniuses.
Council of Geniuses?
The Council of Geniuses, yeah, we'll talk to you here. But let's go ahead and we'll jump into some of what happens with the Apple employees and Kyle. 'Cause that's very critical to this story as well.
Okay, do you know his login?
Do you know Apple ID? So here's Kyle thrown into the dungeon.
What are you gonna do to us?
Put it in your butt.
What is this? What's going on?
Yeah.
You agreed to the iTunes terms and conditions too?
What?
I just clicked agree. I didn't read it. I was in a hurry, see? And I didn't know what I was agreeing to.
I can't even read English.
That's fucked up.
Hey, shut up in there. You all agreed to stay quiet.
Hey, let me out of here. This is a mistake. I agreed by accident.
You can't agree by accident. There's a failsafe built in. Even if you click on agree, another little window pops up that says, "Are you sure you agree?" And you have to click on agree again.
It's true.
What are you going to do to us?
Everything that you agreed to in the iTunes conditions.
We didn't read them.
Right. Who just agrees to something they don't?
That's the moral of this story, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right away, is you shouldn't agree to something unless you read it.
Yeah.
So here's Steve Jobs unveiling this human centipede.
Phones and tablet devices. Let's hear it for our volunteers.
Kidnap kids. Kidnap kid.
These 3 people have agreed to be brought here, handcuffed to these beds, and become the prototype of our first truly interface device.
The first what?
They have actually agreed to be surgically altered. Their lips will be removed, and they will be sewn together mouth to anus.
What?
You agreed to this, mouth to anus, so that the feces from the gastral tract from one will enter the mouth of the little boy, and he agreed this was okay, into the mouth of the little boy, leading through his
He
anus
agreed, it's
to the mouth
okay.
of the female, who completely agreed, they all agreed, which will then go to a tablet device, making a product that is part human and part centipede.
Look, you can get away with the 2 adults, but you probably couldn't have gotten away with Kyle. You know,
No.
him being a minor like that.
Yeah.
But you could probably get away with 2 adults doing this, and do 3 adults, like the Human Centipede movie, something like that.
You agree.
Yeah, but of course, this is South Park, so they gotta throw Kyle in, which is kind of funny. Kyle gets kind of messed over, you know?
I don't even remember.
He didn't agree. He didn't read the terms and conditions.
Yeah, great.
He didn't read.
And part web browser and part emailing device. I give you the human centipede. I should have never updated the iTunes.
I should never have updated the attitude. Back in South Park, as we mentioned, Gerald goes with the boys to the Apple store to seek advice from the genius.
Gerald.
Back in South Park, Gerald, fucking Gerald, goes to the boys to this Apple store to seek advice from the geniuses,
Okay.
who, after performing several rituals, conclude that they can make Kyle's agreement void if Gerald, a PC user, signs up with Apple and creates an Apple account. Now, I would like to emphasize, no one ever really says he has to buy a Mac. It just means create an Apple account. You know what I mean? Create an iTunes account, essentially. So I don't really think that's such of a big deal, but Gerald kind of makes it a big deal. But you could download iTunes on the PC, so you could sign up and use it.
Yeah, I played iTunes and shit on my PC.
Yeah, me too. I used to use it for a while.
I still have my
Because I had an
badass
iPhone.
PC.
When I didn't have a Mac, but I had an iPhone, you get an iTunes because that's how you transfer your music back and forth. So, and Apple recognizes that, look, we understand our computers are a little bit more expensive, so we'll go ahead and we'll make the app available on the cheaper computer. Okay? When you're ready to graduate to a real computer that does editing and video power, then come to us. When you want to play video games, you use your PC. It's true, because Mac does not. You can't really play a lot of games.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's not what it's for. I get it. All right, let's jump into a clip of Gerald going to the Genius Bar. Yes, Genius Bar. Genius. Yes, right, yes. Oh, wait, here's Actually, we'll start here. This is Butters reading and finding the terms.
Subsidiaries may also, if necessary, sew yet another person's mouth onto your butthole, making you a being that shares one gastral tract. I'm going to click on decline.
Decline.
Well, that's just I'm going to the police.
For what?
Decline.
Smart move, Butters. Smart
Yeah.
move.
Smart move, Butter.
Smart move.
Proud of you.
You read it. Standing conditions.
Really nice, guys.
Really nice, guys.
Something in a cheese burrito.
All right. Good.
All right, here's Steve Jobs checking out his human centipede. Kyle.
I remember when the first version of the iPad came out. People couldn't believe how easy it was to take their videos, music, and photos and all their...
What would be the point of this? Like, how is this going to improve someone's life?
You're ruining 3 people's life for one. That's how it works.
I guess, but you're not even really improving that one person's life. Again, you still got to feed this human centipede. You don't have to feed your iPad.
That's true.
So here's one of the problems, of course. Kyle just keeps reading stuff and signing away. Or not reading stuff and signing away.
No, you didn't read it. This says we don't ever have to let you out and then we can do whatever we want. Damn it, why won't it read?
Why won't it read, Scoop? Why won't it read? And then, of course,
Will not eat if they are forced to eat from my food. Perhaps I didn't mention it's a bean and cheese burrito from Paco's. Sorry, Kylie. I tried to resist, but burrito is too delicious.
I'm gonna be real with you. I couldn't find a Paco's when I was living in Colorado. Man, I was hoping they referenced something real. You know?
Yeah.
No Paco.
Story of a little boy whose mother.
Oh, I guess we gotta talk about this too. Cartman goes on Dr. Phil because he got F in the A. S.A.
By his mom.
by his mom.
Constantly tries to fuck him.
Ha!
I want you all to meet Eric Cartman, who's a very special boy with a very hard life. Eric, you say that your mom fucks you?
Yes? It's fucking so hard.
Does this happen often? Does she fuck you a lot?
Dude, Filipino hookers don't get fucked the way I do.
Now,
Oh.
it's very difficult for you to talk about, but where was the last time your mother fucked you?
At Best Buy?
Your mother fucked you at Best Buy?
Uh-huh.
And people saw her doing this?
Uh-huh.
Yes?
And they didn't do
Yes.
anything?
No? Stop it! Oh, there she is. There's my mom right now.
Come to fuck me some more.
There.
You come home right now.
Ma'am, why do you think it's okay to fuck your son?
She does. She does it all the time. She fucked me on Christmas. She fucked me on my birthday. You know, Mom, the least you can do is kiss me first, because I like to be kissed before I get fucked.
You fuck your son and you won't even give him a kiss? Boom!
Oh, this guy throughout the whole episode.
Fuck my son, I'd kiss him first.
This guy kisses his son.
Well, Eric, we have
His son just kind of looks at him.
And he keeps doing it throughout the whole episode. It's weird.
So weird.
Very, very weird. So now Dr. Phil announces that they're going to give him the human centipede.
very special gift we want to give you.
And I bet.
But before we go there, here's Gerald now with the geniuses.
Impatient.
Okay, the geniuses will see us now.
Genius will see it now.
Now remember, when you speak to the geniuses, keep your questions short and to the point. The geniuses do not like
They make them sound like some sort of holiers and valve people.
Genius
No,
President,
I'm
we have a problem
genius.
and we seek your wisdom.
What problems are you experiencing?
The
My
problems
son
are-
was kidnapped by Apple, and they are holding him against his will. Okay, well, I'm sorry you're having trouble with that today. Could I have his Apple ID?
69chipmunks at me.com.
69 chipmunks. Now, of course, this goes on for a little bit. Gerald starts to get frustrated as they do all different starts of things.
Yep.
Store credit.
And then you should be able to do a customer check.
Okay, that should do it. Sorry Apple kidnapped your friend, guys, but I believe we have it all cleared
Gotta
out.
figure it out, Scoop.
You do?
Yep, we got you a replacement.
Replacement.
Friend. Should be all good to go.
Hi, guys.
This guy just pops
We
out.
don't want a replacement friend. We want our friend.
We're gonna have to bring more geniuses in on this.
Yeah, I think we should have a quickening with all the
A
geniuses.
quickening.
I'll
A
summon the council.
quickening.
Okay, if you guys just wait here a sec, we're gonna have a quickening with the Council of Geniuses. See what we can do for you.
And they all just ball. I'm guessing we'll find out later, maybe in the pop culture trivia, that's probably some sort of like sci-fi reference. How
Yeah,
like
most likely.
information is exchanged like that between people.
Do you know if your friend has a Verizon or AT&T mobile number associated with his .me account?
I think Verizon.
Why don't you ask the dad? The dad pays for the bills.
Is that supposed
So
to be a
it's a
dude
big
or a
exciting
shit?
day for
I don't.
Okay.
I think it's just supposed to be ambiguous, maybe. You know.
Maybe. Because it's got a pair of tits.
That's true. That's true. All right, so here's Cartman now getting his human Sentai pad.
Mac Apple users, the unveiling of the first human Sentai pad. As part of a clear PR stunt, Apple has joined up with Best Buy and Dr. Phil to donate the first Sentai pad to a needy boy who was raped by his mother.
Dr.
In all my years, I've
Needy
never
boy.
heard a more tragic story than that of Eric Cartman. And I want to thank the Apple
Poor
company
Eric
for helping
Cartman.
us make today a very special day for him. And as president of Best Buy, Eric, I want to assure you that a child will never get fucked in one of our stores again.
Jesus.
When Dr. Phil
Cartman
contacted
over in the
us
corner.
with Eric's story, we knew we had to get on board. And so, Eric, here is your very own human Sentai pad.
Whoa, kill! Oh, wow, no way! It does email and web browsing and it shits in Kyle's mouth? This is the greatest thing that has ever been invented!
Now, of course, they're going to ask, well, can it read? Yes, it can read. And that's because if you go back, we'll jump back here a little bit further into the episode here. You'll see that they do a simulation in which they try and trick Kyle into believing he's going to be rescued. But he, unfortunately,
So sorry,
won't read.
but I am starving. Which
So,
would you
but it
rather
starts
I
here
eat?
with this katata fish.
Should I eat a cuttlefish?
Cuttlefish?
and
Asparagus?
Or the vanilla paste?
Oh, the vanilla paste.
Cuttlefish and asparagus? Very well.
That's going to be a weird position for him to be connected like that, like a baby almost. Like, he can't really reach out.
Come on, guys.
He can still use his hands and legs, but
Don't
can't
worry,
touch
I'm
anything.
here to help you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Shh. Come on, hurry. We have an ambulance waiting outside. Just try to stay calm. We're going to have to try and get you separated right away. Yes, please hurry. That cuttlefish and asparagus is not the sitting well. We got it, doctor. Can you take this thing apart? If I'm going to perform surgery, I need permission. Sign this release so we can operate. No! Damn it! It didn't read it! End simulation! End the simulation! What is wrong with you people? Why can't you get the human Sentai pad to read?
We're sorry, sir. We really thought we did it to read this time.
So because of that and all those simulations, they basically scared Kyle straight, and now he freaking reads, right? And then here's the geniuses finally coming up with a solution.
The Toron Ra has revealed the
The
evidence.
Toron.
We can retroactively make your son's agreement invalid.
Okay, finally. How do we do that?
It's very easy. You'll simply need to join Apple.
No, I don't want to join Apple. I like my PC.
But if you join, we can make your son's account into a family account, and then you have to approve all his agreements.
Boom.
Come on, it's not that big a deal. We just stop resisting and join the rest of us in the future.
True.
All right, fine. I'll sign up with Apple.
And then he gets initiated. I wish we had been initiated like this. This would have been cool.
This would have been cool.
I would be so much more on Apple if I were initiated like this. I would be in the
I
cult.
agree.
Do you agree to give
But I
Apple
get it, that's what they're
access
trying to
all
do,
your
is
personal
emphasize
information,
that it's like a
including
cult.
but not limited to your favorite movies, songs, and books?
I agree.
Do you agree to care about your membership and prove that you care by purchasing Apple Care?
Dude, human Sentai Pad is awesome!
Sorry, we have a problem. What? What do you mean we have to take it apart? The boys' agreement isn't valid. Sorry, we have to recall this.
What? Hey, that's mine!
I don't care what the geniuses say. Damn it, I'm trying to create the future here. We are all trying to create the future.
Now, look, I'm not saying Cartman doesn't deserve what's about to happen to him, but there was an iPad connected to the back of that chick's butt. They could have at least given him that when they take this thing apart here. Like, they could have at least given him an iPad. You know what I'm saying? They gave him nothing.
The iPhone.
Or something, but they'd give him nothing. And I also want to point out,
bitch.
I know, but Cartman, I was going to point out, Cartman really shouldn't have been too bad too, because while he doesn't get an iPad, I mean, he did get to make the guy shit in Kyle's mouth twice.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
This is pretty funny.
I'm part of the future now, too. I have sat with the Council of Geniuses, performed the Toron Ra, and I've even been to me.
Like, we all know what that is.
The
Toron Ra.
You have helped connect everyone.
I know what it is.
Clearly,
For the geniuses
this
standing
is the
around and
future.
pop bubbles.
But can't you just slow down and enjoy the present?
No.
A little longer. You know something? I agree.
Oh, and then he kisses this boy again.
Oh,
So weird.
Boy. Guess you won't be eating Japanese food for a while, huh?
Nope.
That's a fucked up joke to make right there. You know what I mean?
Like, dude, cut this guy's throat.
Dude, as soon as I'm disconnected, I'm finding Steve Jobs. And I'm
cutting his kneecaps up and sewing his mouth to my butt, and I'm shitting in it 3 times.
Because I like to get lubed up.
So now, of course, Cartman is mad at God because he feels like he gets close, and every time he's about to be happy, he gets taken away. That's good.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be. He's teaching you a lesson.
Now he's about to get fucked
He's
up
going to get really messed up after he yells at God.
because he's a little bitch.
Some lube would be nice, or at least a courtesy lick, God. How about a little
Courtesy lick.
Next time
How
you
about a
decide
little
to fuck
courtesy
me.
lick?
And that is how it ends. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this side of the recap. We'll be right back with some more information for you on the other side. We'll be right back. Subscribe to Suck My Balls, a South Park review on Spotify, Apple's, iTunes, anywhere you want to download a podcast. Just type that in, subscribe to our feed. You'll get the latest, greatest episode each and every week. You can also listen to us on YouTube and go back and watch some videos or any of our library. It's all there. Suck My Balls, South Park review. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back now on the other side. SMB, a South Park review, as we continue on episode 213. If you like this show and you like what you hear, hit that like and subscribe button if you're watching right here on YouTube. Give us a 5-star review on all of your podcast outlets. Leave us a nice review, thoughts, give us feedback. Send us email, suckmyballspod@gmail.com. Send us a DM on Instagram or Twitter, and we'll read it right here on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, myself and this man are not the 2022 Red Rocks Day 1 South Park Trivia Champion. We are not trivia gods, but Scoop is going to do his best this week. Scoop, take it over.
Kyle Bravlowski's email address is 69chipmunks@me.com. Throughout the episode, there are remarks that translate to mocking how few people read terms and conditions mainly with Apple users' agreements, which is pretty true. You know, there are people out there that probably just fucking agree that shit. Don't even know someone's going to show up and put something up your pooper. That's right. It's going to track your everything. You agreed. According to this episode, Kyle weighs 83 pounds. 38. What is that, kilograms? Yes.
Yeah.
It is revealed in the episode that Gerald Bravosky is a PC user because he is superior. The name of the man at the front of the human Sentai pad is revealed to be Junichi Takayama, who also featured in City Sushi. This was chosen to be the episode shown in South Park documentary 6 Days to Air, the making of South Park. Oh, that's interesting. This is the first episode to feature the 2011 Comedy Central logo at the end, which would last all the way to Splatty Tomato. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen, for your trivia.
That is your trivia right here on SMB, a South Park review. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the man who likes to bring the pain of the digital marketing game is not here today to read your pop culture, but I'm going to do my best. This episode title and Kyle's part of the plot refers to Tom Six's The Human Centipede trilogy.
That's a trilogy.
It's a trilogy. Cartman's tantrum in the store over the iPad is a parody of the scene in the movie Dog Day Afternoon, in which Al Pacino's character Sonny is negotiating with Detective Eugene Moretti over the hostages in the bank. Apple being able to track Kyle is a reference to the then recent discovery that certain Apple products would record the location of the user at regular intervals. However, later on that has been turned off. You can turn that off. Location services, people, it's not that hard. Just go into your settings, turn everything off. It's not going to help you for GPS and stuff like that. You're going to end up being more of a nuisance. Anyway, do what you want. I don't care. Although the Council of Geniuses described the interaction as the quickening. Oh, by the way, the Toshiba handbook is a parody of the Toshiba thread. Although the Council of Geniuses described the interaction as a quickening, is a nod to Highlander series. Their activity parodies the Ceremony of the Sun from Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal.
Dark Crystal.
Yeah, Gerald's Apple conversion ceremony is a reference to Star Trek episode Amok Time. Here's a long one for you. The scene where Cartman throws a tantrum inside Best Buy, followed by him crying in the car, seems to have inspired a subgenre of grounded videos, which are videos typically made with animation programs such as Vyond that depict children, show characters such as Kalulu, Dora the Explorer, and Little Bill, both of which are owned by Paramount, being grounded for committing various misdeeds known as misbehaves videos. Said videos play out similarly to the tantrum scenes in this episode, depicting a troublemaker having a parental guardian figure taken to them to a restaurant or store before throwing a tantrum, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so basically what they're saying is Cartman parodied what was at the time popular on social media, as we start to say that here in 2011 because we're in the 15th season, which was these kids who are having tantrums, right? Notably, of course, Cartman saying "fuck me" rant was from the scene is often replicated, usually in a censored form, before the troublemaker destroys the establishment. Gerald's statement, I've even been to me during his closing monologue is a reference to the 1977 Charlene one-hit wonder, I've Never Been to Me. I had no idea. Ladies and gentlemen, that's your pop culture. Here's a quick bit of continuity. Leanne now seems almost entirely unable to fall for Cartman's faking of being a good little kid. Cartman is now unable to make her buy him anything he wants, and he seems to be trying even harder than he used to. And finally, as the series progressed, Leanne has seemed to think more and more of Cartman trying to outsmart her. Leanne's starting to smarten up, basically.
Outsmart Cartman.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's your pop culture, your continuity, some trivia scoop. What'd you like about this episode?
We get so many good one-liners with you trying to fuck me, like I want to get wine and dined. I like to be kissed. The dad kissing the kid, so fucking weird. It's not right. On that one, I was a little pushing a little that in there, but and then
what'd you like about this episode, Scoop?
The way that Leanne doesn't, as we mentioned in the continuity, she doesn't cave in to Cartman. Whereas in, the earlier episodes with the dog whisperer, she toughens up and gets Cartman working in doing his
Yeah,
thing. And then all of a sudden she just snaps and starts
like he
lying.
goes back, he just like falls back into his normal bullshit.
Right.
Like because she wants that. She enables him.
Mm-hmm.
And now this is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of a spoiled brat.
Spoiled little fucking shit.
He's a spoiled little fucking shit. That's a good point. I agree with you. I like this episode in that regard that, you know, it's funny, right? I mean, Cartman constantly saying, am I going to get effed here? Am I going to get effed there? All these different scenarios. Goes on Dr. Phil. You know, you got Kyle here who's not reading. That's funny. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
Is there did you find anything memorable about this episode that's kind of stuck with you?
Why can't it read? That line. Why can't it read? Why won't it read? I think that's a pretty memorable line. And I think Cartman's rant, I like to be wined and dined before I get fucked. I've used that.
I like that one.
I've used that. Like, in fact, one time when I was working in sales, there was this guy, he like said something similar to me. He was like, hey, at least bend me over first before you fuck me. And I was like, I was like, hey, I kind of like that. I was like, hey, if you want, I'll wine and dine you first. And he was like, and I was like, okay. So that's funny to certain people, you know, probably couldn't get away with talking to West Coast people like that. They're like, what are you talking about, dude? Or they'd be like, okay, wine and dine me. I'll wine and dine you. But overall, I like this episode. It's definitely in my top, 100.
Yeah.
It's a good episode. 100, 150. It's between there, 125 maybe-ish. It's a funny episode. It's got some memorable lines. Cartman gets it in the end. He never gets what he wants. Even though, like I said, they brought out this whole parade for him. They should have at least given him an iPad.
They could have at least taken the iPhone and iPod off
the Chinese guy and the girl and the lady in the back, and given him that. Something. Can't even do that. Well, that's your review.
Yep.
Ladies.
That's it.
And gentlemen. Right here on another edition of SMB. A South Park review. You know what's coming up next week? It's season 15, episode number 2. Funny Bot. I am Funny Bot.
Non sequitur.
So what happens
in the ass?
What happens next week when the boys basically, or Jimmy that is, decides that he's going to hold his own comedy award show, and he ends up naming Germany the least funny people? Well, they're going to get their revenge
with their funny
bot. Coming up next week on another edition of SMB, a South Park review. Check you later.
How about that?